I am adding my lye water, which I had silk dissolved in there, so there's a little bit of granules, but it all dissolved really well. It was the first time I had used silk in my soap, and I really enjoyed using it. But anyway, my temperatures are about 100 to 110 degrees. This is a 7.5 pound batch. So it's a larger batch that I need to keep pretty fluid for a longer time because it's more of a technical or long time. It'll take a while for me to design the soap. So I'm just blending to a minimum. I just added my essential oils, which was orange 15X, and it was clear, so it didn't color my batter orange or anything, which was kind of nice. And it's blended with patchouli essential oil as well. And I'm just dividing it into my colors. I have cocoa, charcoal, some paprika, and I had some white Brazilian clay mixed with a little bit of zinc oxide for the white. I'm going to give these just a few quick pulses just to dissolve or to disperse the color into the soap batter evenly. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a Clyde slide down another pitcher using the 4 colors, alternating between the different colors as desired. There's no right or wrong to however you wanted to pattern it. Now for the column pour, I had a stainless steel container and I had filled that with water to keep it weighted down to make sure it was heavy enough and wouldn't float up as you poured the soap. And I'm just kind of swirling the soap around the top. I noted too, you'll see a little bit later that I pour higher, which I ended up liking a little bit better than pouring right near the top of the stainless steel bottle. It gave a little bit more distinction. And you can see here that my soap that had been on the bottom of my pouring container had started to thicken up or get that texture that I sometimes get when it hasn't been stirred. And there's an easy fix for that, which I will change up my my routine. So instead of filling the container all the way the next time, I just fill it halfway and then pour, then fill it up halfway and then pour, and then your soap doesn't get that chance to thicken up and stuff, and it will stay nice fluid consistency. And I know it wasn't seizing up on me or anything because this is a very common recipe that I like to use, and I know the essential oils also, actually the orange tends to decelerate cherry, so I knew it, like if I stirred it down, that it would be completely fine. And it was completely fine. As you can see here, the texture is still real nice, and it's gonna just remain pretty nice like that as long as you keep stirring it and just fill up a smaller container rather than the larger pitcher container prior to pouring. Now I've done a column pour oftentimes, but I've never done like a Clyde slide or like in the pot swirl combined with the column pour. So this was really interesting, and I found that my results gave it a much more feathered look. Well, there wasn't quite as much distinction as I was hoping, but the feathered look was still really pretty, and this technique is so fun. I like, I try not to have a certain result in mind, because oftentimes things don't necessarily go my way, and I don't want to be disappointed with the result that could still be cool, or, you know, even though it wasn't as you had pictured in your mind. So I just go with the flow, no pun intended, and just keep that soap batter flowing. I'm so sorry, I forgot to turn my camera back on for pulling that bottle out of the soap, but it's really easy. Just gingerly picked it up, pulled it out, and put it in the bucket that I had ready so it wouldn't drip all over my counter. It was pretty straightforward. Now this step was totally not necessary, but I put it on a Lazy Susan to give it a spin and then stop it real quick just to see if it would change the pattern, but it didn't significantly change anything, but it was still fun. I like spinning things on a Lazy Susan. And I always get in a conundrum too about whether to just leave the soap as is or use a skewer and do some other design. So I thought I would just, I guess, use the skewer just to see what would happen. I tried to make it look like a tornado type, like a funnel cloud. It is nearly 24 hours later and I'm cutting my soap. It did not go through gel phase, which I was disappointed about because it was much more squishier than I normally deal with for cutting soap. I could have just waited, but I didn't. So I cut that big slab into 3 loaves, and then I'm going to cut that into 5 individual blocks, and then I cut horizontally each block to reveal the design within. And a big shout out to Chas at Wild Plantanica. She made these really creative and actually just brilliant soap bevelers, and it comes with like these little attachment or keys, so you can have different type of edges however you want, and you just stick the whichever beveled key you want into the slot, and then you secure it with another little just rectangular piece through the hole on the bottom. It just kind of slides through. And then you just take the soap and you slide it along the edge of what you want beveled. So it works amazing. I love the options. There's like, what, 12 or so options. I mean, and look at that nice edge. And actually it's like I'm beveling it right away, but if you wait and let the soap harden up, I hear, according to other people's experiences, that you get a nice and even cleaner bevel with when the soap is a little older. But I mean, it still worked great for a fresh soap. So you can check that out on her website, which I can link below. I highly recommend it. It just adds a really nice finished look to any bar of soap, whether it's a plain bar or a designed bar. Like, it's really nice. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you liked it. See you next time.